Hello, I'm Dr. Garrett Castleberry, Professor of Communication, Media, and Ethics at Mid-America Christian University. I'm going to serve as our primary course instructor this semester for the class Digital Persuasion in the Social Media Age. And so I want to send this video note because, first of all, I want to welcome everyone in advance, but also give us an immediate notice that for the first day of class, we are not meeting in person due to some time conflicts, all right? We'll be out of pocket, but we will come together Tuesday, January 17th, the day after the extended holiday weekend, right? That concludes with Martin Luther King Jr. Day, in which our campus is closed. The very next day, we will kick off in person together for our course this semester. Initially, they have us assigned to, I believe, Kennedy Hall 114, all right? And that's subject to change, and perhaps we can really open things up as we get more comfortable with one another and get into some exercises. Maybe we're not always going to be restricted to that same classroom. I'm excited for that prospect, and I've got a lot of provisional ideas on deck that I hope to bring to the table, introduce to us this semester. Well, this is just a primer to say what's going on with this course, what's it all about, and also it's going to help fill in a gap for our not meeting in person on the first day of class, right? So the first official day of class at MacU is Thursday, January 12th. Again, we'll be out of pocket, so don't show up for class that day. Simply log into your D2L and check out any videos or posts I've made in the news feed. And then look forward to the semester to come. I'm super excited and encouraged by the students I've seen on our roster thus far. This is really great. And it's a nice kind of small to medium group. I love that. It's going to give us more opportunity to learn more things, right? We'd be diversified. But we are going to try to emphasize some activities, some hands-on opportunities, and if I can line them up, a few guest speakers along the way. I really want to create and craft an intimate experience where you're going to gain more access to more ideas than you normally would in a kind of generic class that's full to the brim with peers, so much so that you don't have a lot of wiggle room. The great thing about a class that has more wiggle room is we can pivot more. But what is this class about? Well, traditionally, your syllabus might list these as the primary readings. We're just going to say, hey, here's where our regular online accelerated 5-week courses tend to give it a quick dash into the world of persuasion through a 21st century lens, through a digital kind of perspective. And the books that kind of drive that course include Lane Crother's Globalization and American Popular Culture. And this is just a great book that talks about, kind of introduces concepts of globalization and really teaches us about persuasion through words and terms relating to power. We're going to see the relationship between those as we get into some discussions. It's a primary reading online. If you can acquire it, that's great. I'm trying to restructure things in the course so that you're not penalized if something is keeping you from acquiring this text. But that's, when we think about it as a primary read, here's something that kind of ties into the nature of that digital persuasion in the social media age, and how it kind of is interlinked with the economics of what we call the entertainment industry. And that's pivotal because those qualities, those persuasive qualities, are driving many of our economic decisions that we're making here and now, 2 decades into the 21st century. And so this next book is Social Media Entertainment: The New Intersection of Hollywood and Silicon Valley. And this is from Stuart Cunningham and Dave Craig. Again, I'm encouraging you to locate that. If you have the funds, the resources for books, we want to introduce you to these ideas. College is that space to challenge us. If that's not on your economic table, connect with me. let's figure something else out, and we will. Another one is The Procrastination Economy by Ethan Tucci. This is a really popular book with students over the last couple of years. The Big Business of Downtime is the subtitle to that. And these are just some starter texts that can kind of get us thinking about contemporary ways that persuasion plays a role in everyday life. But it doesn't stop there. I've got a stack of books right here. I'm not going to read through all of them. I'm not going to go all over them. I'm not going to require them, but we might be occasionally looking at excerpts. We might be pulling occasional maybe individual assigned chapters and things for a case study brief, something of that sort. But one of the ways I want to build and restructure the course this semester is to look at different forms of persuasion over time. All right, so we're going to get to that digital portion as the semester moves on. But you know what we really need? A foundation. We need a foundation. Where does this come from? What's I'm going to use a big word here, etymology, right? Or the origins of the word persuasion. Why does it hold such value? And so one of the things we're going to do early on is look at some of the early history of the term and its relation to maybe Western thinkers, right? And so we won't get too deep. And if we do, I always hope we can get really deep into any subject matter. But if it's too deep waters, never hesitate to ask for further clarification. We're going to make this course work no matter where you're at in that level of understanding. And we also are going to look for opportunities to make those direct connections toward you and what you are interested in and moving toward in your own personal and professional life. All right, so that's why a persuasion class is so pivotal. It's so important. We want to make the direct applications to you. We want it to be a part of your personal growth chart while you're in college, and hopefully introduce some fundamental terms and even techniques that you can take with you wherever you go, whether you're going into ministry or going into sports in some capacity full time for the next few years, or perhaps becoming that young entrepreneur or joining the part of an organization at the ground level. Now we're going to look for ways to help you better understand persuasion, because persuasion is the key to moving not just things, but people. And when we can move and speak and communicate in persuading ways and constitute persuasive forms of communication, right? Whether it's in writing or in message design, we are going to have a higher level of success. And success can be defined in a number of ways, but that's a really broad overview. But I hope we can get you excited about what's to come and not be intimidated at all. Instead, look forward to some opportunities. So remember, we're not meeting in person the first day of classes on campus, which would be Thursday, January 12th. Instead, looking at the very next Tuesday, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. January 17th. So lock that in. January 17th, 11 a.m., Kennedy Hall, room 114. I believe we'll start there, but the world is our oyster. I can't wait to break out of that room, break out of our shell, get to know people more that are in the class. And we're gonna learn about some fun things that are gonna better you and get you more excited about what college is all about. Look forward to that. So please, hopefully you've finished this video, and we're going to take a look at a better view of syllabus and some ideas and concepts on that next Tuesday. So no homework over the weekend. Don't worry about that, and just come in fresh and eager to kick off a new semester on Tuesday. We'll see you then.